What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Boleros. Sam here with Gab, and we are back just as we promised after that
Yes!
crazy Salle versus UP
The
game.
UAAP keeps on giving. What a Sunday!
What a Sunday indeed! We had an electrifying first game and down, hindi naman siya down the wire pero
Slightly contested. Hotly
hotly
contested.
contested second game. Between UP and LaSalle. And LaSalle surprisingly ending up as the number one ranked team after the first round. So we are going to talk all about that game today. But before we do talk about that, I want to talk about our sponsor for today's episode. And this is a sponsor that's very close to our hearts. Kasi Gab and I, we really love shoes. Whether it's sneakers or leather shoes, mahilig kami dyan. I remember si
We love
Gab.
shoes too much, Sam. We love shoes too much.
Oh, actually si Gab, I did one of the wedding speeches during Gab's wedding and pinag-usapan ko dun sapatos. Ganun ka sneakerhead or shoe lover tong si Gab. So, our sponsor for today is Cedar Co. So, they're a local brand. They're available on Lazada. You can check out their link in Lazada. And they sell different products for your shoes. So we are going to highlight two specific products today. The first one is Cedar Co.'s shoehorn. So, alam niyo naman guys, very important yung shoehorn. Alam niyo bakit? Because number one, you wanna put your shoes on in a very smooth manner, 'di ba? Ayaw mo na kung sneakerhead ka, ayaw natin na may creases yung sapatos natin. And whenever pet peeve ko 'yon, Gab, kapag hindi ka gumagamit ng shoehorn, yung heel tab dun sa likod tumitiklop tapos magkaka-creases
I
na.
hate that as well.
Kita mo eh. Obvious eh. Kita mo may creases. This guy doesn't use a shoehorn. Fortunately, si Cedar Co. meron silang shoehorn. So you can glide your feet into your shoes without crushing the back part of your shoes. And what's great about this is you can see sa demonstration ni Gab, it's slightly longer than yung mga usual na nakukuha yung libre sometimes when you buy shoes, and it's made of metal. So it's a lot sturdier than the plastic ones that you see na libre or yung mga mura lang, no? So that's the shoehorn. Great product. I always use a shoehorn here at home whenever I'm putting on my sneakers or my leather shoes. Next,
Just slide your feet in, guys. Just put a shoehorn here and slide your feet.
Suabe. Diba?
Very sturdy.
Our second product for today, Cedar Co.'s Shoe 3. Okay, so nandyan, model natin itong si Mr. Sultan of Sando. So, ano naman yung Shoe 3?
Na tayo, pare.
Ano naman yung Shoe 3? I'm sure a lot of people use a Shoe 3 especially for their mga fancy shoes, to keep yung form or yung shape ng shoes nila, di ba? Is to avoid creases, you put the Shoe 3 in. Pero, I think for me, and I do have Cedar Shoe 3s also, the advantages of having Cedar over, let's say, a plastic Shoe 3 is number one, because it's wood, it absorbs moisture better. So, it prevents molds. Not sure about you, pero maulan sa atin, very moist. So, madalas nagmo-molds ang shoes. So, with Cedar Shoe 3s, it absorbs moisture and prevents mold. The second advantage of Cedar Shoe 3s is yung aroma. Because it's cedar, maamoy mo yung amoy cedar yung talagang inamoy ni Gab.
It smells really good, Sam.
Yeah.
It smells really good.
Maamoy mo yung natural oaky cedar smell, diba? Versus, let's say, a plastic or a metal na wala naman masyadong aroma na lumalabas. So, that's the advantage of having a Cedar Shoe 3. So, check them out. Cedar Co. They have shoehorns, shoe 3s. Meron din sila, I remember, brush. I saw dun sa website nila na mukhang maganda din. We will share the link to their Lazada page down below. And please use that link if you're going to buy because you'll get 50 pesos off your purchase. All right.
Perfect for my Jordans. Perfect.
Tama na nga, nagyayabang.
I was actually pretty excited that we got this sponsor kasi perfect for my Jordans.
Thank you. Shout out to Cedar Co. Okay. Gab, let's get started. Initial thoughts siguro, quick reactions to that game. LaSalle at one point led by 20,
20.
21
Same
points,
as
yeah.
in Filoil.
And we were chatting with Maui. Maui watched this game all the way from Switzerland. And lahat kami same sinasabi. Parang Filoil vibes to, sabi ni Maui. Hala, humahabol na yung UP by the second half. Ready na, ano na to? By the second half, magtatay na to. And it happened. That was so crazy. But LaSalle, this time, made the adjustments. UP could not capitalize. And LaSalle ended up winning the game. Gab, quick reactions to the game.
My initial reactions is first, the beef is real. The rivalry is real. I love it. I
Holy!
love it. Oh
Wow, this
my
rivalry.
goodness. The crowds were into it. The coaches were fighting. The coaches were pointing at each other. Minumura nila isa. CJ Austria was talking trash to Harold Alarcon. I had
We
a
caught
friend
that!
who
A CJ
yeah.
beef!
the CJ Angas, the bash person. He's not a bro anymore because he doesn't have a bro to bash with him. But I heard from someone who was sitting at courtside during the game that Alarcon and CJ Austria were saying expletives yung towards each other. Nagbumurahan daw sila silently. They were grabbing, they were pushing.
That's how they say, I love you.
Grabe. Actually, si CJ Austria, pagpasok pa rin na game, Siko na agad yung binigay eh. Kay QMB yata yun or something, or kay Udodo. Something like that. May Siko na siya na binigay agad. So yun, I love the intensity, Sam. It's like it's finals game 4 from last season. That's what it felt like. The atmosphere, even from the TV itself, you felt the intensity. And man, I would have wanted to watch live. I just could not. I could not take the traffic and parking at MOA. I decided.
Magre-record pa tayo, bro.
Yung magre-record pa tayo. I'm gonna spend my Sunday here at home na lang and rest up. Because I came from MOA din yesterday. But yeah, exactly like Phil Oil, as you said. I got that feeling, especially towards the second quarter. When UP were drawing a lot of fouls, going to the free throw line, and slowing the game down by doing different looks on defense. They had a half court 1-2-2 trap. They went to a 2-3 zone. They went to a 1-2-2. Whatever the defense coverage Tom Chua had in his bag, he put it out in the second quarter just to slow the game down. And it worked. But before we get there, of course, we have to start in the first quarter. And I do have some observations in the first quarter. First of all, ang UP coaching staff hindi yata nakikinig sa Boleros, pare. Kasi, why did you start Mark Belmonte on KQ? Yeah. I was like, oh my God, why? And yes, Mark Belmonte hit a 3 in the first quarter, but he gave KQ 5 points at the other end and drew his first 2 fouls. So, very questionable / crazy decision by the UP coaching staff to put.
Baka they were reserving Francis Lopez nga. They were worried na if Lopez started, he would get into foul trouble.
They have 4 other defenders who have had experience on KQ, and you chose your worst one.
You wanted Torculas pala. Oo nga pala. You said Torculas man lang sana.
Torculas, diba? Alarcon, Torres, all of them have had experience, have had success guarding KQ. But you put one of your worst defenders to start this game. I think that gave KQ a rhythm in this game. He had 20 and 10. I thought the confidence was high in this game just because of how he started. They put Mark Belmonte on him, and I said in our earlier episode when we sort of recap the UE Adamson thriller that Precious Momaway was licking his chops and saying barbecue chicken. I'm sure KQ, when he saw Mark Belmonte guarding him, he was like, oh yeah, barbecue chicken, baby, barbecue chicken. Scored 5 points instantly in the first quarter. I thought UP did a good job keeping it close. And uh, Josh David instantly starting hot, hit two threes in the first 5 minutes of this game, and I think that set the tone for the rest of the first quarter. And one of the reactions I got is, "What point guard problem does LaSalle have? Does LaSalle really have a point guard problem? Josh David is right there.
Even
I don't think
Ramiro was solid today.
even even Lian Ramiro was great. And on UP's end, they could not make anything in the first half. Free throws weren't going in. 3-point shots weren't going in. Uh, Wide open mid range shots weren't falling in. Some of those were open. Some of those were good defense by LaSalle. A couple of plays in the first quarter that I wanted to highlight was, there were a couple of moments where LaSalle turned it over or missed, and UP had a long rebound. UP sped up the floor, but LaSalle had great transition defense. Coming back, contesting layups, forcing UP just miss shot after shot at the rim. And I think when you see that kind of effort, it wasn't just the role guys doing it. It was KQ doing it. KQ running back the floor, contesting shots. I think he blocked a Raylan Torres or a Harold Alarcon layup.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so when you see your star player, your superstar doing that, I think you follow suit, right? You follow your superstar's example, because that was great defense on the part of KQ. And by the time they put Francis Lopez on KQ in the second half of that first quarter, I thought KQ already had a rhythm. He hit a baseline three over Francis, right over Francis. Francis jumped really high to contest that, but he just
Akala ko nga
made
na
it.
block eh.
Ako rin, because he jumped so high. But Francis just incredible. But incredible shot making from KQ. Aside from that, once the second quarter rolled in and LaSalle extended its lead, I thought, as I said, the response by UP was great. And kudos also to Francis. I think Francis was aggressive attacking the rim, putting pressure at the rim. He drew many fouls. I forgot how many fouls he drew in that second quarter. Maybe around 4 or 5 fouls he drew in the second quarter. The problem was he could not make his free throws. I think he made 2 out of
2 of
6
6.
free throws.
2 of
Yeah,
6.
2 out of 6 free throws, and that just killed all the momentum that was happening. I do want to give kudos to Raylan Torres. I thought Raylan Torres came in the second quarter and gave good energy, and just cutting that lead back, yung back down, yung cutting it back down until it was sort of manageable by the end of the first half. LaSalle couldn't make a field goal towards once they hit 35. They couldn't make anything, and that was a function of the very different defenses and sets that Coach Tom Chua was putting out there, just slowing everything down. I also thought that DLSU were making a lot of, let's just say, questionable highlight reel plays. And
Yeah.
that apparent to me was that pass that KQ made
Behind the back.
you behind the back to, I think it was Henry Agonane or Mike Phillips, and
Mike
then
Phillips, I think, yeah.
and then it went the other way, and then UP drew a foul. At this point in the game is when I got really frustrated with Henry Agonane, and I was chatting with you guys. What the
Oh
fuck
my
is this
God.
guy doing? Like, I was kinakabahan ako for LaSalle every time Henry Agonane caught that ball. Kasi
Feel ko si Henry Agonane kinakabahan din eh. Kasi parang sobrang
oo nga eh.
butterfingers
Like,
niya sa game na to eh.
everything he was doing was leading to a loose ball or a turnover. He could not catch the ball when it was dropped to him. He tried the post up on QMB. He lost the ball. Anything, man. It was so frustrating to watch Henry. I don't know why Coach Topex went back to the Henry Agonani post-ups when he completely went away with it in the previous games. Well, not completely, but essentially eliminated it from his offensive sets, the Henry Agonani post-ups. I just stop doing it. Stop. It's just painful to watch, And I'm sure LaSalle fans, I've met a ton of LaSalle fans during games who have said that they don't like it also when Henry Agonani gets the ball because it just leads to a ton of problems for LaSalle. I think his best role talaga is what we've said already in past episodes. Rebound the ball, protect the rim, and just get dumb passes or putbacks. That's how you score. Don't try to do anything else. Just don't. It's so painful to watch. And in the third quarter now, Sam, I think that's where we have to highlight the man called Harold Alarcon.
I was surprised that
go yan.
I was surprised na hindi they didn't go to Harold Alarcon earlier. Doon ako medyo na-frustrate because in the third, he started cooking, diba? He started cooking. Go ahead. Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, he cooked every matchup that he saw. Even KQ, he was looking for KQ in the pick and roll. It's essentially calling Gani Stevens and then just going one-on-one with KQ. He got on one play, he got an offensive rebound. He saw Leon Ramiro and said, "Oh, it's another barbecue chicken. I'm going inside on Leon Ramiro. There's no way this guy could guard me." He made two pull-ups, crossing over Mike Phillips, attacking the paint on another play, just slipping by the defense. Galing. Unfortunately, he's not only fatigue. Kung pwede lang i-turn off sa 2K yung fatigue option, siguro gagawin ng UP yun because there was no other reason for Coach Go to sub him out. I assume he was tired already or needed a breather. But what a quarter by Harold. What a quarter. Bringing them back in this game. And this is where I really said to myself, this is exactly like Filoil. This is exactly what happened in Filoil. The second half was a nightmare for LaSalle. They could not get... And a part of it also is LaSalle's problem. I thought in the start of that third quarter, they were rushing a ton of shots. KQ, you rushed the three. Earl Abadam put up a contested three right after getting an offensive rebound.
3 straight 3-point attempts nung start of the third or something.
3 straight quick 3-point attempts. Yeah. And I thought, man, if LaSalle's gonna play like this, UP's gonna pull away, gonna come back and then pull away. And it got tied at 42-42. But kudos to what you said, Sammy. Leon Ramiro made a good play, driving to the left, getting a layup, and then this is where I have to pat myself on the back because I did say in our preview that maybe we could see KQ at the 5. And Coach Topex did for a short burst in the third quarter. Yeah. He put KQ at the 5. And so UP had no other choice but to put Gani Stevens on him. And I think much like he did when he saw Mark Belmonte on him, KQ licked his chops and said, "This is barbecue chicken for me." Pulled up from 3 over Gani Stevens. Turnaround jumper at the elbow, just exposing the slow-footed Gani Stevens. Then UP came back and put in Aldous Torculas to replace Gani Stevens. That's where the third foul of Francis Lopez, I think, hurt in the first half. Because
I think it was Belmonte nga eh. Yung pinasok si Belmonte.
Yun, si Belmonte. And kudos to Mark Belmonte. I think he gave up a couple of good minutes there in the third quarter when he was put in. He made a basket then. And then, so that was the third quarter. LaSalle hung on to the lead. And in the fourth quarter, UP just couldn't make anything. I thought they bricked a ton of shots. Kudos to QMB. I think was the only playable center in this game. Contesting a ton of shots at the rim. This was a grindhouse game in the fourth quarter. And LaSalle just made the big shots. I do want to give a shout out because we also said this in our preview episode for this game, how is the LaSalle supporting cast gonna perform? And
How
I
are
think
they
the
going to
LaSalle,
respond? Yeah.
yeah, the LaSalle supporting cast responded and took the cue from KQ and stepped up. This is LaSalle at their best, as we said, Sam. When it's not just KQ, when you see JC Makalalag hitting three, hitting a mid-range pull-up, Josh David with the jumper from the top of the key, uh, EJ Abadam
Abadam.
in the first half, hitting threes, Boris
Ramiro.
Manasigan, Boris Manasigan attacking the paint and just being aggressive. This is LaSalle at their best. When KQ is the point of is the hub of the offense, but he's not taking every shot. The defense is focused on KQ, but he's letting his teammates make plays. EJ Goliana had a tip in and a short stab at the rim in the fourth quarter. Key
In the
shots.
fourth, key shot
Yeah.
yun. Key shot yun. Yeah.
Both key shots when UP was threatening to come back. I already mentioned si VJ David. Essentially, it wasn't KQ who kept this game in LaSalle's favor. It was his teammates. It was Josh David. It was JC Makalalag. It was EJ Goliana. These guys, I have to give them credit. There are games where they don't do much, but when they have games like this, when they're the ones leading the charge, LaSalle is unstoppable in my opinion. There is no way any team, even UP, can beat LaSalle when KQ is performing at that level and when his teammates are going along for the ride with him.
Oy.
Yung ba? Go ahead, Sammy.
Oy.
Your turn.
22 minutes into this episode. And I
Sorry,
think we
ganun
need
na tayo
to
katagal.
I think we need to talk about the elephant in the room, which was JD Kagulangan not playing in this game. You raised that question, you raised that concern in our preview episode, although I dismissed it kasi, and you also said you saw him during the previous game, he looked okay, diba? So we thought precautionary probably yung UST game, pinahinga lang muna siya so he can be ready for this game, but he didn't play. He didn't play, and they could have used him in this game. I know we
Oh, they
said,
definitely needed him.
I know we said na they have the deepest guard rotation, but he's averaging like what 14 points a game, 7 assists a game. They could have used some of that scoring and the playmaking, especially when the offense stalled for certain stretches. Uh how big of a loss was that, and were you disappointed with how the other guards of UP stepped up? Kasi we talked about the role players of LaSalle stepping up for this game. Were you disappointed with how the guards responded sa UP side naman?
A little bit. One thing I didn't mention in this game, and especially in the first quarter, Coach Topex was preserving KQ. He was not putting KQ on any of the main attackers of UP. He was not putting it on Baila, was not on Belmonte. He was putting him on Felicilda. And Felicilda, for the most part of this game, was very passive. I'm like, KQ was not even guarding him. He took 1-3, I think, in the first quarter when KQ was not even threatening to go near him.
And this is before the injury, diba? He was already passive before the injury.
He was already passive before the injury. Although I do have to shout out that injury. Josh David
Ankle breaker, bro.
essentially had an ankle breaker, which I didn't want to see, of course. I hate watching turned ankles. But that was my initial reaction. Oh, an ankle breaker. And then I saw the replay. Oh, shit. A literal ankle breaker. Sakit nun. But he came back. He came back. Then, when he got injured, I did have a fear, Sammy, that we would see once again a lengthy Terence Fortea at point guard.
Alam mo, I was hoping he would get hot and would surprise people, diba? But anyway.
Yeah, but he made a ton of turnovers also when Jan got injured.
Yeah.
A ton of questionable decisions. this is the frustration that UP fans had in season 85. I do remember I watched a UP game with some of my friends. I think it was against NU when JD was injured. And let's just say a lot of UP fans around me were not very happy with Terence Forte at point guard. Let's just put it that way. You know, he again, he's not really a point guard. I don't think point guard is really his natural position. When he's solely a shooting guard, a scorer, a shooter out there, that's his best role. Point guard, I don't think. Although he did hit a three in the third quarter. Kudos to him. But I don't think that's really his best role. And when he's the one running the show, they have to be worried. Oh, yun lang. So, the guards didn't really perform much in this game, except for Harold. I said it again in the UST game, Sam. When JD is out, Harold appears. Harold appears and he's like Jordan out there. He's like Kobe. He's from Adidas. He wears Adidas. So sino ba from Adidas? He's like Derrick Rose. Salute to Derrick Rose for
Anthony
for his
Edwards
retire.
naman para medyo updated.
Anthony Edwards. But yeah, aside from Harold, I don't think we saw pretty positive performances from any of the UP guards, despite their deep guard, except for Raylan Torres. I did like how Raylan Torres performed in the first half. Just putting it out there.
Oy. Next question. Who was the best? Who won yung battle of the bigs in this game? Was it LaSalle or was it UP? Because I wanna say it's UP. Surprisingly, UP won the battle of the bigs. I think QMB was the best big in this game, and he was frustrated by a lot of the LaSalle bigs. They were really getting physical on him, but I think QMB stood out as the best big man in this game. And dati kasi for the longest time sinasabi natin, yung number one advantage ng LaSalle sa UP team na to, they have better big men. They have a deeper big man lineup. But I think from this game, I want to say, I think UP now has the big man advantage. What do you think?
No, I don't think so, Sam. I'm sorry. Sorry. I think LaSalle still has the big man advantage. Because aside from QMB,
Wala nang iba.
Wala nang iba. Dikachi Ododo, who had been serving as a primary backup.
Not playable.
Hindi naman sa not playable. Well, I wouldn't say not playable. More like 2 quick fouls and he was pulled. I don't want to say not playable, Sam, kasi we saw these guys be playable in the preseason against this same LaSalle team.
Actually, when QMB wasn't there. Oh, it was Ododo. Yeah, tama.
It was Ododo, it was Stevens. Heck, even it was Alter. But all three of those guys proved themselves to be capable, playable bigs. But I think just because they're not getting the amount of run or minutes now in the actual season, they're kind of rotting on that bench. So nawala yung rhythm nila. I mean, you expect Gani Stevens right now to play. Although Gani Stevens was, I would say, serviceable. Except when KQ just lit him up in the third quarter.
He missed 2 crucial free throws also.
Yeah, he missed 2 ugly free throws. I don't know how else to describe.
0 of 6 pa siya this season. Wala pa siyang nasushoot daw, apparently.
Oh, wala pa. And with that shooting form, I'm not surprised why he hasn't shot. Why he hasn't made a single free throw. But yeah, you said QMB, and I love QMB in this game. I love the discipline. That is how you contest shots at the rim. No? Just going straight up, not putting your hands down, going straight up, using his length every single time a LaSalle player went in the paint. He had 4 blocks in this game, 10 points and 10 rebounds. Undoubtedly, he was UP's best player by far. He took advantage of mismatches, made tip-ins, putbacks. I loved how QMB played. He showed his worth in this game. The Mike Phillips versus QMB matchup did not disappoint. This was, if you love rebounding, if you're a Sakuragi fan,
boxing out,
boxing out. Whoever controls the rebound controls the game. This is the matchup you wanted. Yes, QMB was the best big, was the best center in this game between Agonane, Phillips, Stevens, Udodo. Yes, he was the best, but I think Lasal still has the better overall front line despite the dumb-headed plays by Henry Agonane.
Okay, okay. Okay, looking into the next round, ano sa tingin mo yung magiging adjustments ng ng Lasal or UP for round 2? Like something to like if you were kunyari, if they were to play next week, ano yung mga dapat maging adjustments from both sides coming from this game? Obviously, I probably UP needs to adjust, 'di ba? Kasi sila yung natalo eh. But yeah, what are things that you would change? Like for example, sa Lasal, maybe not playing Henry Agonane or not giving Henry Agonane the ball at the post.
Yeah, that's one for Lasal. Honestly, for Lasal, just composure. I don't think that there's a specific offensive set that they need to change or there are specific coverages that they need to change. They just need to be composed. That's where Lasal struggled. When they were rushing things, when they were making home run plays, flashy plays, when they keep their offense simple, that's how they're gonna win. For UP, they just have to get JD back. That's as simple.
Make
as
your
it.
free throws.
That also. I'm sure Ateneo, you would be proud by the shooting performance of UP in this game. Sean Toman was
Doing
smiling like, "Uy,
doing their best Ateneo impression.
doing their best Ateneo impression. 14 out of 26, 53% or 58% from the free throw line. That's Ateneo numbers. 2 out of 20 from 3. That's Ateneo numbers. You can't shoot like that. We did say in the preview, watch out for the 3-point shooting. This is
Yeah.
gonna be, that's gonna be something to watch because when LaSalle makes their threes, and they did, heck, Josh David outshot the entire UP team, but doubled
Oo
up
nga,
their
no?
threes. He had 4 threes. UP had 2. We said if LaSalle is gonna outshoot UP, they're probably in a good position to win, and they brought it. Again, the supporting cast, no? JC Makalalag, Josh David, EJ Abadam, despite having 4 fouls and some dumb fouls at that. KQ, just incredible job by LaSalle, keeping their composure. If this, it was not like Filoil wherein they really crumbled in the second half. This time they bounced back, and I'm glad to see it wasn't just a KQ show. I'm glad it wasn't just give it to KQ, you bail us out. I was happy that CJC Makalalag hit shots, Josh David hit shots, EJ Goliana hit shots. Great effort by LaSalle. They just have to play this same way. This is peak LaSalle. As I said many times, peak LaSalle is when KQ is not doing everything.
Josh David. Shout out to Josh David making up for that poor performance during his last battle against UP in Filoil, diba? But he was injured back then. So looks like he's healthy now because he looks good to me. Speaking of yung 3-point shooting, there was a tweet by Pong Docanes, by the way. I think in the last 3 battles between UP and LaSalle, UP has only made 5 3-point field goals combined. So I think the shooting is the percentage is 5 of 56. So they've hit
Wow.
8.9% of their threes in the last three battles. So that's game 2 and 3 of the finals and this game. So tama ka, Gab. You called it again. Sabi mo, whoever wins the 3-point battle significantly will win this game. And that's been the story in the last few battles between UP and LaSalle. Anything else you want to add before we sort of end this show?
Uh, there were well, we're not gonna end without talking about the beef between
The beef.
the the benches.
Although
Some
sinabi ni Gia Nazario na hindi ko alam. I was waiting for him to explain sa post
yes, so
game.
they're just playing it down. I'm sure
Hindi ko alam.
something was said on. If anyone knows, just comment down below if there was anything said. And it because before that, Coach Gold went onto the court.
He was livid.
Yeah,
Livid.
he was livid. And then a few plays after that, his whole coaching staff was shouting at the LaSalle bench, and then the LaSalle bench were trying to go after the UP bench. I'm like, oh, there's pandemonium, and we got the very famous call, technical foul on UP for improper bench decorum. Technical foul on LaSalle for improper bench decorum.
Spot on talaga, Gab, yung impression. Ibang klase.
Sabi ko sa'yo, I've always dreamed of becoming the barker of the UAAP. Maybe someday, but yeah, that was it. Also, I did hear from some of my friends who were there in the arena. Francis Lopez tried to.
He was talking.
He was he was talking to Mike Phillips. I don't know what was said or what beef was there, but if anyone knows, just tell us. But I'm buying it. This is the rivalry.
This is the beef. Yeah, the beef is getting beefier.
Totoo yan. They unlike Ateneo, which does not really, they don't when they're trash talk, they don't really talk back that much. They're not really known for that, or at least the current version of the Blue Eagles. They don't really do that. This LaSalle team is gonna push back. And, UP loves to be physical, and LaSalle will be physical with them. So I love it. I'm buying into this. This is basketball cinema.
Yeah, 100% pure beef lang, hap sarap. Jollibee, sponsor mo naman kami dyan. But I love it. I'm excited for the next matchup.
Before we go, Francis did have a great block on Mike Phillips. Amazing block on Mike Phillips.
Walang dunk, pero may block. Kasi we were hoping for
Henry
Francis.
Agonani got a dunk, bro. I think it was only 2 points of the game.
His only 2 points of the game. Yeah. So that's...
And then he wasn't put back right after that.
Which was a good adjustment by Coach Topex, I would say. That was one of his best adjustments in this game.
I keep on saying it. Their best lineup is Mike Phillips at the 5, KQ at the 4. That is their best lineup. We've said it. I'm gonna pat myself on the back, on the shoulder, on the back again, because I did say this a lot since the start of the season, since the preseason. They cannot go with the Agonane Phillips front court. It's just not. It's not sustainable. Heck, even si Raven Cortez barely got minutes. And kudos to one of the subscribers who said na maybe si Raven is not playable also when it's with Mike or si Henry and Raven Gonzalez. So Raven Gonzalez barely played in this game. It's mostly KQ and Mike Phillip, which I love to see. Also, shout out to the other guy who said that Konov will be the surprise of this matchup, and I'm like, really? Konov has barely gotten any minutes for the first 6 games, and Coach Topex is gonna play him now versus UP? There's no way. So, shout out, man. There were some funny comments, some funny takes, but we still love it. Just go in there, go share us your thoughts. But yun lang. I was surprised na si Francis Lopez didn't come back in the third quarter. I thought that Coach Gold should have gone to Francis in the third, especially even with the 3 fouls. I think there should be enough trust in Francis to not get his fourth or his fifth foul and just put him on KQ because he's, as you said, Sam, he's the best matchup for KQ. So yun lang. Anything else on your end?
Yeah, that's it. I think one thing lang din kay Francis Lopez, he did crash on the floor a couple of times in this game. So pretty banged up din, but I'm happy to see like he gave it his all, and unfortunately
That just
kinulang
goes to
sila.
show you, Sam, how strong Boris Manasigan is.
That foul, by the way, 50-50 yun for me. I didn't think it was a flagrant foul. To be fair to Boris, pero solid lang ata talaga yung katawan ni Boris. I think even sina Boom Gonzalez mentioned like Boris is strong. Like Francis just bounced off Boris Marasigan.
That's just Francis is a strong dude. A lot of people bounce off Francis when Francis goes to the rim, but in this instance, he bounced off Boris Manasigan, and Boris Manasigan barely moved when he was in the air.
Hindi man lang siya nag-react or nasaktan or anything. That was crazy. That was crazy.
But same thought, Sam. I thought that wasn't a flagrant foul. I mean, I think that was a good contest. I think that the fall is what sold it, I think, for Francis' part, diba? The fall sold the unsportsmanlike foul. But he missed the 2 free throws anyway, so it ended up not harming LaSalle.
Make your free throws, guys. Let's end it with that. Comment down below your thoughts on the game, what you saw in the game. Please explain to us the beef. We want to know every juicy detail.
Before we end, Sam, I do have some funny inputs from this game. We did see Thea Gagate, who we know is the girlfriend, I think, of Sean Alter. So I wonder who she's rooting for. She was on white, so baka neutral ako. She plays for LaSalle.
Yeah.
She played for LaSalle.
She played for LaSalle, I think. She
played for LaSalle. So, but her boyfriend is in UP. I wonder.
And her brother is in UP.
Oh, pala! Her brother is also at UP. I completely forgot about Seven. The other funny part is, alam mo yung bestie scam, Sam?
Yeah.
They showed Evanelle and Vanny Gandler.
LaSalle and UP. Ay, LaSalle and Ateneo, you know.
And then si Evanelle made the half heart sign, and si Vanny was like, he didn't want to do it. Oh, that was good. So yun lang. Just a few of my notables from a few funny moments from this game. Galing. What a way to end the first round, Sammy. We'll have an episode tomorrow. I think the viewers will want to know about that.
All right. That's it for today. Comment down below your thoughts. Let us know what happened dun sa beef. Every juicy detail. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you again next time. Bye-bye. Don't forget, you use the link in the description box below para sa
and share your questions.
Cedar Co. Purchases nyo. And share your questions. We'll do a dedicated episode Q&A. We have a few questions already, so please keep them coming. We'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.